Assalamu alaikum friends, this is Abdullah Pracha, soil scientist. Kindly like and subscribe my channel. Assalamu alaikum friends, my name is Abdullah Pracha and today I will cover the book Nature and Properties of Soil. Today we will continue with second chapter, Formation of Parent Material, and our topic is Weathering of Rocks and Minerals. So, what is weathering? Weathering is the breakdown of rocks and minerals. It can also modify physically and chemically. It can move from one place to another through wind or water. Now, I will tell you about the characteristics of parent material. First of all, there are three types of rock: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. So, what are igneous rocks? First rock which is formed is called igneous rock. It is formed from molten magma such as granite and diorite. There are two types of rocks, igneous rocks, intrinsic and extrinsic rock. You can see the rocks that are present on the outer layer are extrinsic, while that are present in the inner layer are intrinsic rock. Igneous rocks are made up of primary minerals. So what are primary minerals? The primary minerals are the very first minerals that are not chemically changed. Primary minerals appears like salt and pepper. They can be of light color or of dark color. So what is the difference between light and dark colored? The light ones are not easily decomposable, while the dark one can be easily decomposed. The light one contains silicon, aluminium, potassium, while the dark color contain iron, magnesium, calcium. The light color examples are quartz, muscovite, feldspar, while the dark color examples are gabbro and basalt. Following are some example of igneous rocks. You can see their different shapes and colors. Second types of rocks are called sedimentary rocks and they contain secondary minerals. These secondary minerals are actually the modification of primary minerals. They are actually formed from the sediments of igneous rocks. So how they are formed? First of all, the older rocks such as igneous rocks converts into sediments and these sediments later on reconsolidate into a new rock. This new rock is known as sedimentary rock. These rocks are very resistant. Resistance is due to cementing agent. Take an example of conversion of igneous rocks into sedimentary rocks. Let us take an example of sedimentary. First of all, granite, which is a primary mineral, convert into sediments into quartz sand, which is also a primary mineral, and this sand is modified with calcium and iron, which act as cementing agent, and they together consolidate into a solid mass which is known as sandstone, and this sandstone is now a new secondary mineral and it's sedimentary rock. Here are some example of sedimentary rocks. Now I will explain you about metamorphic rock. So what are metamorphic rock? What is the meaning of metamorphism? So metamorphism means change in shape. Metamorphic rocks are formed from other rocks such as sedimentary rocks and igneous rocks. Sometimes the heat that is generated beneath the earth's surface due to the pressure of earth within the plate, which causes the plate to move towards and away from each other, and this movement is known as tectonic movement. Due to this movement, igneous and sedimentary rocks are forces beneath the earth's surface which may convert and recrystallize into metamorphic rock due to intense heat and pressure. Following are few examples of metamorphic rocks. I have covered all the three rocks: sedimentary, metamorphic and igneous. I hope you understood me carefully. Here are few examples of igneous, metamorphic and sedimentary. You can see here the calcite is a igneous rock which converts into limestone, which is a sedimentary rocks, and then later on it converts into marble, which is a metamorphic rock. Similarly, dolomite converts into again into dolomite and then it converts into marble. These are the example of the conversion of mineral from one state to another, from igneous to sedimentary, and then from sedimentary to metamorphic. You can also say it is the conversion from primary mineral to secondary mineral, and from secondary mineral to primary mineral. Assalamu alaikum friends. Now I will explain you about destruction and synthesis. There are two factors occurring in weathering. So how destruction occur through breakdown into smaller fragments, and during synthesis the chemical decomposition of minerals occur. Now I will explain you about physical weathering. Following are the factors of physical weathering. The first factor is temperature. When rocks are exposed to sunlight, as a result they contract, and during the night when the weather is cold they expand. This temperature changing causes stress of expansion and contraction and produces cracks inside the rocks. These cracks are a major factor of destruction of weathering. Exfoliation is also a process of weathering of temperature. In exfoliation, sometimes the outer layer is often colder or warmer. This causes exfoliation, and exfoliation is the peeling away of outer layer. Explain you about the weathering of wind and water. Water has a strong cutting power, and it cuts the rocks into pieces when hit it. This is known as the physical weathering of rocks due to water. And wind also cuts the rock with its strong pressure. When these factors are known as abrasion by water and abrasion by wind. Wind abrasion is usually seen in arid region where rocks have changed their shape and disintegrated by the forces of wind. Animal and plants also plays important role in weathering, but it has only minute effect. Plant roots enter into the cracks of rocks and expand with the force, and which helps in disintegration, while burrowing animals also helps in disintegration of rocks by making burrows. The burrows which these animals create are exposed to weathering. You can see it in the following picture that how weathering occurs through animals. Now let me explain you about chemical weathering. Chemical and physical weathering occur simultaneously. In this type of weathering, in chemical weathering, two factors are involved: geological and biological agents. Geological agents are water and oxygen that are present on the earth, natural and naturally, while biological agents are acid that is produced from microbial respiration and plant root metabolism, the chemical reaction taking place in living organism. These acids and water together are involved in chemical weathering. Chemical weathering occurs through following factor. The first factor of chemical weathering is hydration. During hydration, you can see the water is added up in the mineral. The hematite is now converted into ferrihydrite. Our next factor is hydrolysis. During hydrolysis, water molecule splits up into hydrogen and hydroxyl, as you see in the following example. And hydrogen often replaces cation from a mineral structure. Hydrogen is also cation, and it replaces cation from that mineral. And this phenomena is known as hydrolysis. In the following example of microkaolin, a potassium containing feldspar, you can see that first of all the hydrogen cation from water is exchanged by the potassium cation of mineral, and then you can see that the cation from that mineral is again taken up by the water. This exchange of cation is usually occur in hydrolysis. Next factor of weathering is dilution. Water is capable of breaking the bond between anion and cation until both are surrounded by water molecule. This phenomena is termed as dilution. You can see this example in book that how gypsum is dissociated in water, and its anion and cation are separated from each other. Now last factor is acid reaction take place at high rate, and weathering is accelerated in the presence of acid, which increases the activity of hydrogen ion in water. For example, when carbon dioxide is dissolved in water during microbial or root respiration, they become carbonic acid with a mixture of carbon dioxide and water. You can see in the following example that now this carbonic acid is capable to dissolve calcite into limestone more rapidly than water alone. Now we have studied hydration, hydrolysis, dilution and acid reaction. Now we will study the fifth factor of weathering, which is redox reaction. Oxidation of iron and reduction of oxygen in the presence of water is an important example of redox reaction in soil. Oxidation of iron can be due to bacteria for decomposition of organic matter quickly. It can be due to aerobic or anaerobic condition. During aerobic condition where there is a lot of free oxygen, and during anaerobic condition where there is a lot of oxygen that is bounded to other compounds. This oxidation usually occur in humid or wet climates. Ferrous is usually green in color while ferric is usually red in color. You can see in the following example that iron is oxidized and it loses one electron. Now iron is more cation from ferrous to ferric. This electron is taken up by oxygen, which is now reducing. After the gain of electron, oxygen is now anion and is bonded with the cation hydrogen, which are already present in soil and form water. So iron is oxidized, so it acts as reducing agent, while oxygen is reduced, so it acts as oxidizing agent. Next and last reaction is complexation reaction. During this reaction, a chemical reaction is formed between a ligand and a metallic ion with at least one unshared pair of electrons. What is ligand? Ligand is a molecular ion with a lone pair of electron. It could be water, it is having two lone pair of electron, and ammonia, it is having one lone pair of electron. Hydroxyl ion, it is having three lone pair of electrons. In the following example, you can see that metallic cation aluminium, which also act as Lewis acid, can be bonded with 6 atoms of water, which acts as Lewis base, and as a result, complexation reaction is formed. That metallic ion can be zinc, beryllium, copper. This complexation reaction is also important factor of weathering. Inside book you can see there is a complex example of muscovite into potassium hydroxide, and a complex solution is formed, but I make it easy and understandable for you with a simple example. All these chemical reactions are occurring simultaneously and they are interdependent, they are interconnected towards each other. You can see in following book example that how these reactions together are taking place in the process of weathering.